The 2023 Oxford Word of the Year is Riz. I will use it in a sentence. Annie is straight serving Riz. Wrong answers only. What does Riz mean? Matt, I want to start with you this week.
Just because I'm the oldest one in the room and I definitely don't know what this actually means.
Yes.
I learned a slang term from my 12-year-old about 2 weeks ago, so what does that tell you? I mean, I'm going to say like secrets, because dealing Riz would talking smack, talking like spilling the beans. I don't know. Like I said, wrong answers completely.
I'm gonna say that Riz is short for resistance, like in Star Wars. It's like Luke Skywalker. He's part of the Riz.
George Lucas never actually used that.
Lydia.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, as one of the youngest people in the room, I also have no idea what this means, so don't feel too bad. It means she's a big fan of that old TV show Rizzoli and Isles.
Tabitha.
It means she wished she had gotten to play Rizzo in Greece.
That was another way I was going to go.
Wasn't there a Muppet named Riz?
I don't know why
Rizzo?
you're looking at me. I'm terrified of those things.
Rizzo
Yeah.
the rat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, Riz actually means charisma.
I hate this generation.
It's just too many syllables.
Matt learned what the word simp meant not that long ago.
Yeah, that was
And
from
Duncan
my
and
12-year-old.
I harassed him for 20 minutes about the fact that he's old.
The fact that he brought in his iPad and Googled it for me to read, that was... it wasn't embarrassing enough I didn't know what it meant, but then he comes around the corner with his iPad in his hand. He's like, "Here, Dad." Thanks.
Yeah, using it in a conversation with me, and I'm like, I'm scandalized by this 6th grade tea, and Matt's like, what?
Completely oblivious. I'm like, I don't get it.
So what does simp mean?
You're easily pliable to the opposite gender of which you're attracted to. You're just will do anything for them. You're a simp.
Weird.
I didn't make up the word.
So we learned 2 words tonight. Well, some of us.
I'm hip.
I broke it. You're listening to The Geek Awakens with Mitch,
Matt.
Tabitha.
And Lydia.
All right, so we have a bunch to talk about this week. We are going to start with the poll list. What's on our poll list this week? The first book we're going to talk about tonight is Beyond Real #1. It's out December 13th from Vault, written by Zack Kaplan, with art by Fabiana, Mascolo, and Toni Fejzula. So June and her boyfriend, Eli, get into a car accident that injures her and leaves him in a coma. She begins to see and experience life in a completely different way, which leads her on a journey to save Eli's life. The art in this book is just absolutely stunning at times. I don't want to get into too much in spoilers, but basically this accident makes her see reality in a way. It's just I don't want to describe it with, I can't describe it without giving too much away, but what she goes through because of this is just, it's visually stunning. As far as the story itself, I've read quite a few things from Zack Kaplan. He's become one of my favorite writers, especially with with sci-fi comics. He is quickly becoming like a master of sci-fi comics. I have full intention, or I have full faith that he is putting us through a wild ride, and I'm here for it. The little bit that we got with these characters, like I'm already we saw Eli for a couple pages before the accident, but like the interactions between him and June, like, I mean, you're supposed to be rooting for, this main couple anyway, but it's like, I'm hardcore rooting for them. I want to see what happens. Matt, what'd you think?
I enjoyed this. I know we read a bunch of Mindset, which is I think Zack Kaplan's like more recent works. I do agree with you that as far as like the sci-fi comics, he's kind of got it down pat. This starts out very much like almost Matrix-esque vibes, but for lack of a better way to say it, the code breaks down, and that there's more going on. Like, I'm in for this. I agree with you. The art was great. It was seriously trippy at times, which is intentional. My only thing is that I know, based on previous readings of his books, that we're going to get a full story and a wild ride. The intro for this issue, almost a little simplistic, if you will. Like, you get the accident, you get the kind of like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And you know that this is the beginning of the roller coaster, but like you have no idea where the rest of the track is going. So at this point, it seems a little tame, which, like I said, I know it's not going to be, but I would have liked a little bit bigger, I think, of a twist kind of to kick this whole thing off. But yeah, either way, ready to see where this goes.
Tabitha, what'd you think?
Like you said, the art in this was stunning. The 2-panel page, or like the 2-page panels from the accident, where it was like showing the red light and then the green light in the car while they were talking, was like incredibly well done. Like the detail in that scene from the accident was just like mind-blowingly well done. I kind of agree with Matt. The beginning was a little I don't know if I'd use the word simple, but a little.
Would you use simp?
No. Was a little, like trite almost for me. And then it got into like her experiences like post accident, and I was like hooked, and I like plowed through it like really fast. Girl, the cliffhanger though, like, how you gonna throw her into this whole new world and then be like, to be continued? And I'm like, Bo, what's happening? So I think this is something that I really hope we get more issues of, because I would really like to carry on.
Lydia, what about you?
Again, to echo what you guys said, the art in this is phenomenal. One of my gripes a lot with some of the books that we get is they get too jumbled. And this is so clean, and you can tell what everything is without having to like stare at it for 5 minutes to see what's going on. This one actually hooked me from the beginning, and I think it's like the first or second page. There's a line that I absolutely loved, and I actually screenshot it because like it's the second page, so it's not really a spoiler. But he says, "You're saying life is caused by an artistic tantrum." And she says, "I'm saying science tries to explain life, but life is creation, and creation is messy." It's like, I love that. And yeah, basically from that point on, I was hooked, and I was ready to see where this led, because I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen when I didn't read like the synopsis, so I didn't know that there was an accident until I got to that point. But I could tell something was coming, and something was going to go downhill, and I really want to see where she has to go to get him back.
So, next book we're going to talk about is Bergamot and Sunny Day. It's out now from Tokyopop by Lyee Kithala. So, Riku works at a cafe and is perpetually unlucky in love. The cafe's owner, Josh, asks Riku on multiple dates, which leaves him falling for his boss, which is the last thing he wanted to do. Tabitha, I think that we're going to have a slightly different interpretation of this book. Why don't you start first?
This was so saccharine sweet. I am now diabetic. It was, oh my god, these characters are so, no one's ever going to love me. I'm unlovable because I can't keep a relationship more than 3 months. Like, the teenage emo vibes for these grown-ass men was so off the charts that I was rolling my eyes every single time anyone opened their mouth. I got about halfway through before I messaged you guys. I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to jump off the building. Like, I can't keep reading this. I will say the thing that I did like is sometimes I have a really hard time with the formatting, and I did not have that problem this time because the art was so simple and there wasn't a lot of crap happening in the background that I was trying to pay attention to. So reading this was much more fluid, and I'm bummed because I was like, oh man, I'm doing great. And then I'm like, but I'm so depressed. So it was just, I don't know. It was way too sappy love story for me. I'm all for, I'm all for happiness, but like the beginning of this was just way too like, woe is me over and over and over. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree. It was very sappy at times. I liked this though. The main character, Riku, definitely a self-saboteur, and I'm like, oh, I feel seen. Cool. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple love story. Was kind of, I was worried how they were gonna go with the whole like employee-employer vibe, because that, it doesn't typically work out very well. But yeah, this was a fun story. Definitely grown up at times. I don't know if you got to any of those parts, but
I kept kind of like flipping through, and I saw some of the more
Not
explicit
safe for work.
Yeah.
Spicy bits.
Yeah.
Ew.
The bits, they were spicy.
Don't like any of that.
But
And that's why you don't go to the bedroom after you've been chopping jalapenos, children.
moving on. So next up is Illustrated Owl. It's an anthology that's out now from Z2. Z2, they gave us kind of like a holiday gift guide, and this is part of it. This Illustrated Owl has been out for a little while. But it's a Ringo Award-winning anthology that takes some of Weird Al's greatest hits and gives them a whole new perspective. As someone who is a Weird Al fan, like, this was so fun. There were quite a few, especially in the beginning, there were quite a few songs that I didn't even recognize. But some of the ones that were in there, like, it's so stupid. Well, most of Weird Al's songs are stupid, but they are supposed to be. But his song Albuquerque, which is an 11-minute song about this guy who goes to Albuquerque. It's way more entertaining than I'm giving it credit for. But I was like so pumped to see that. Also, The Night Santa Went Crazy
I was
is
going
also
to ask if that was
yes,
in it.
I was so happy that it was in there. It's almost like I didn't get around to it, but like I wanted to play the songs while I was, reading the story, just to, kind of go along with it, I guess. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because this is one thing that I definitely noticed in The Night Santa Went Crazy. Like, the chorus, like, they'll do it once, but then they kind of skip over it the next time. And it's like, especially with some of these songs, like, I'm singing them in my head. And then when you cut that part out, I get really confused. But yeah, like, if you're a fan of Weird Al, this is so fun. The art is just as weird and wacky as his songs are. I loved this so much. Match. It's fine. Well, it's because I was trying to say much, but then I knew I was going to Matt, so then that's why it was weird. So Matt, what'd you think?
I too am a Weird Al fan, and this, as much as I enjoyed this, overall I felt like it was kind of a mixed bag. There were some of them that were wonderful. They were great. They were brilliant. Art-wise, everything across the board was well done. I loved all the different styles. It was easy to tell whether you got the song title at the beginning as a headline or not. You knew you were switching songs or switching stories. So there was no confusion there, which I appreciated. And like I said, all of the art styles fit with whatever story was being told at that time. I think the reason I say mixed bag is that because I did feel that there were some of them where there was either too much art or not enough art and too many words. Like, I can't remember which one it was, but there was one where, like, I spent the entire time reading it and then, like, almost forgot to look at the art because everything was covered in words. So I don't know. I also, like, Yoda. I love that song. Great song. Very disappointed that was like a 1-page story. Like, I wanted some more from that.
I'm almost wondering, were any of the ones that were actually stories, were any of them like parodies, or were they all his original songs?
Well, see, that's the thing, is I wanted to do what you were talking about and go through and listen, like, make a playlist and listen to all of these songs to kind of, like, line them up and look at them. But, like, I didn't get a chance to do that, so I don't know. I know there were a couple that were parodies, and then there were some that I know are original songs, but I couldn't 100% tell you which ones were which.
Okay.
The only other note I have here is that, like, I've listened to Weird Al since I was a kid. I don't really know that I realized how dark and violent so many of these songs are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew The Night Santa Went Crazy was dark and disturbing, but, like, seeing it visually, it's even more dark and disturbing. That one, it makes me like it more. Some of the other ones, I'm like, wow. Oh, okay. Didn't catch that as a kid. All right, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's so hilarious that, like, yeah, that so many of his songs are like that. But then, like, him as a person is, like, supposedly, like, obviously I've never met the guy, but, like, supposedly he's like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Yeah. So that's funny. Tabitha, what'd you think?
So, as someone whose Weird Al knowledge stops with the parodies, I went into this and I felt like I was having an aneurysm. So, Dare to Be Stupid, which was the first one they put in here, where every single panel, quote unquote, that matched the lyric for that line, it took me like 45 minutes to read that one story because I was like, what the hell is going on? What does this art have to do with literally anything? I really appreciated the artistic changes. Like, sometimes we get like I don't want to call them mashups, but like these things where a bunch of different artists work on them, and sometimes they all start looking kind of the same. Like, there was a very, very good balance of like different art styles with these. This was something for someone who is much more of a Weird Al fan than I am, because I did find myself kind of just like skimming toward the end and not really reading it anymore because I'm like, I don't have a clue what's happening. I'm just keeping on. I didn't not like it, but I just don't think it was for me.
So the last book that we're going to talk about tonight is The Nasty Number 5. It's still kind of weird to say that. Like, I mean, The Nasty's number 1, 2, and 3. It was always kind of funny. It was a chuckle, but like, what the hell is a nasty number 5? Like, what?
It's like Mambo number 5, but dirty.
I was thinking that.
It's like, what bodily fluid's going out there? Like,
Ew.
No.
Why are you the way that you are?
Mostly because of Weird Al, actually.
That explains so much.
I have major beef with Weird Al right now. We're in a fight.
So, The Nasty Number 5.
God, I hate
little bit of Jessica. Okay. So it's out now from Vault. Written by John Lees with art by Adam Cahoon. So we get a glimpse of Mira and Thumper's vision of House of the Creeping Flesh, where a group of college kids have plans to renovate the old flesh house. However, the house has hidden terrors, and Cindy, played by Mira, has strange nightmares. Tabitha, you're chuckling, so what's going on here?
I accidentally made eye contact with Lydia. That's what's going on here.
Yeah. My bad.
Well, I heard the chuckling, and then I look at these two, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it.
So what did I miss while I was reading?
Flesh house.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's what happened. I enjoyed this. I was a little bummed that it cut out to go back to their. I was engrossed in what was happening in the movie they're filming, and I was suddenly they were back in the real world. I'm ah, dang it! Now I just need to continue so I know how the rest of this movie wraps up. Those are all my thoughts.
Oh. You kept looking like you might say something else. I wasn't for sure. Matt, what'd you think?
So very early on in this series, I was not 100% in for this. I was I wasn't sure where it was going. I like very much how we have gotten the multi-pronged story. We have the lady who's coming in to wreak havoc. We've got the movie that they're building. Now we're actually getting to see some of the clips basically from that movie. And all of those things moving forward at the same time. And then with the addition of the, I guess, issue that they're having with Red Enos in being a little too real is wonderful. There's a lot of things going on here. And I feel like it's I feel like the story's continuing to grow. So if we only get one or two more issues of this, I'm going to be almost real concerned. There's a lot of things to wrap up in a short amount of time. But like I said, very early on, I wasn't sure that I was here for this. The way that this one ends, don't do that to me. I that's an awful cliffhanger. Congratulations. I need issue 6.
So I had to get caught up. I had to read issues 3, 4, and 5. So some of what I might be talking about may actually be issue 4. In fact, I think it probably is. But there is one scene where Thumper asks his mom to be in the movie, which immediately I'm like, ooh, this is probably not a good idea, especially with the issue that is going on with Red Enos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm immediately, oh God, is his mom gonna die? She hasn't yet. But
there's still time.
I liked how this was a bit of a reprieve. Because issues 3 and 4, the story is ramping up and everything. And then issue 5, most of it is, this movie. So I appreciated that, but at the same time I'm okay, but we're starting to get real serious with this story, and now you're going to take our minds off of it for a month. Okay, fine. Oh geez. Which leads me to believe that issue 6, some shit's gonna go down hardcore. But this book is still it's so fun. It's it's definitely a horror comic, but I don't want to say it pokes fun at horror, but it's kind of a love letter to horror movies, and it's such a good time. So let's go ahead and go into trailer takedown.
Let's get ready for trailer takedown.
And these trailers, guys, are we okay?
No.
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 I didn't appreciate it when we were putting all these together, but these are some sad movies, guys. The movies themselves aren't sad, but a lot of them are post-apocalyptic, end of the world type of stuff. Whew.
It's the end of the world.
world as we know it.
And do we feel fine?
No.
Yeah, fair. So the first movie we're going to talk about is Eileen, and that's going to go up against this is a weird combination. It's Eileen versus Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1.
Such a long title.
It is. Lydia, let's start with you this round.
Oh boy. So I didn't really know what was going on at first with Eileen, and then it kind of continued to confuse me. Also, I don't think anyone in that trailer could decide what accent they wanted to use. Love you, Anne Hathaway, but pick a lane. The Justice League one, I did not like the art style on this at all. Like some of the faces, like the different angles, just did not look right. And I think that bugged me more than it should have. Because I was so focused on that I stopped paying attention to what was supposed to be going on with whatever Earth they were on at that particular point in the trailer. Between the two, I'm more interested, I think, in watching Eileen just at this point, just because I think the art style is just going to bug me too much to pay attention to Justice League. So I'm going to give 6 to Eileen and 4 to Justice League.
I kind of already forgot what that trailer was even about. Not going to lie.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. I remember she was fighting some people. Looked like maybe she was like destroying some stairs. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I watched when I watched Eileen. Justice League. I haven't seen too many of the DC animated movies. The ones that I have seen, I've enjoyed. This looks really cool. We've seen a lot of Crisis on Infinite Earths, however. The Arrowverse did that not too long ago. And plus, like, DC Comics has a Crisis seemingly at least once a decade. Maybe even more.
It's a mid-decade Crisis.
Say the Flash movie even kind of leaned into that a
Yeah.
little bit too.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, we're almost Crisis out, but at the same time, I would happily watch this over Eileen. So I'm giving 9 points to Justice League and 1 to Eileen. Matt.
So I know that these Justice League and the DC animated films are well received. They're well done. The voice acting is usually pretty solid. I just have a hard time watching the trailers and going, yeah, I'm going to sit down and spend an hour and a half or 2 hours watching this animated DC film that looks, most of the time, no offense, like it was made in the 90s. Like the animation style, just it seems, and I know that it's 2D, so haha, it just seems kind of flat.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. It doesn't really get me excited about the story, even though I know that as a comic book, the stories are involved and well written. These trailers just don't ever seem to do enough to draw me into this story. Eileen, I've read the book. It was one of those that Tabitha has a list for me of books that I need to read, and this was one that was on my list. I think I read it last winter, because it's definitely a winter vibe type of book. I do kind of have to agree with Lydia as far as the accents go, but either way, this trailer does an amazing job of giving the dark noir feel that the book has. I almost feel like this trailer did a better job giving that feel than the book itself did. Like the book tried for that and has moments where it succeeds, but this trailer is dark and dingy and dirty from beginning to end. I also feel like Anne Hathaway would have played Eileen if she were about 15 or 20 years younger. Like, I feel like that's like she wanted that role but knows she can't play that role, so instead she like is part of this movie to help that actress along. Either way, I'm ready to get inside Eileen's head for this. So I'm gonna go 8 points for Eileen and 2. I can't do math. I was trying to count all the Infinite Earths and I got lost. 2 for Justice League.
Tabitha.
I obviously read Eileen, and if the plot twist at the end of that book plays out as well as it did in the book on the screen, it's chef's kiss. It's a fantastic, dark, noir moment, like Matt said. Like, it's absolutely beautifully done in the book, so I'm very excited to see how they bring this to the screen. It looks incredible. There's the added bonus of my second wife, Anne Hathaway, being in this film. Very excited about that.
Who's your first wife?
Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
Duh.
Sorry.
I was mostly making that face at not Seth, who was like, so with the DC thing, I'm not going to name its title because it's going to take me 26 years. I am over the parallel timelines and the daily crises of superheroes. And I'm with Lydia. I was so distracted by how bad the art looked that when they were blinking, I was like jumping because their eyes look so weird. So I'm giving that 0 points. That looked like someone made it in Microsoft Paint. And I'm going to give 10 points to Eileen.
Also, can we talk about, Superman's great Scott line? Like, okay, Doc Brown, sit down.
What an interesting thing to say.
So with a score of 15 to 25, come on, Eileen, because you're moving to the next round.
I'm not gonna lie, that song's been playing in my head the whole time I've been sitting here talking about this.
And that's going to meet the winner of Fallout versus Godzilla X Kong. I'm going to start this round. I know that Fallout's a thing. That's about my knowledge of Fallout. And I think there's a boy in Fallout.
No,
Fallout Boy.
He's just the logo. The mascot.
Anyway, this looks cool, but like we get so many post-apocalyptic stories, which we're going to see more of them, guys. But so it's like, I don't know. I don't know that I'm here for it. I'm pretty sure. Was this the trailer that did say like from the team that brought you like, I think it said like Invincible and 2-day shipping? I thought that was pretty funny because it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed that joke.
Same.
But anyway, so that goes up against.
I thought that was a movie. Like 2-day shipping. I've never heard of that one.
That goes up against Godzilla X Kong. This looked cool. I don't know that I'm gonna get around to watching it. I don't know. It seems like the title makes it seem like they gonna fight, but it sounds like they're teaming up. I wonder if they both have mothers named Martha.
That is
Ow.
neat.
Or maybe mothers named Mothra. Aw, it's like a little jingle bell. Every time I get a shame, an angel gets its wings.
I don't think that's
No,
what that's
we've
doing.
had this conversation before. Every time you get a shame bell, another demon climbs out of hell.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm slowly populating the earth with my minions.
It all makes sense now.
No.
Ooh. um, but yeah, so I'm going to give Godzilla X Kong 7 points. I'm giving Fallout 3 points because I'm pretty sure there's a Fallout 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's at least 4.
Oh, well, they don't deserve that many points. Tabitha.
I have no idea about Fallout. I have no ties to the game, but I love a post-apocalyptic world. But however, as we know, video game movies and TV shows are traditionally just not well done or well received. As far as Kong x Godzilla, this is Godzilla. It's Kong in his revenge era. We now have Baby Kong and Dan Stevens. Like, there's literally nothing about this for me not to be in love with.
That's who that was.
Yeah,
He
girl.
looks familiar.
That's Dan Stevens. This looks perfect, and I'm probably gonna cry just every time Baby Kong comes onto the screen. Monster movies, especially like the Godzilla and like Kong franchises, have been my like favorite since I was a child. So excited for this. So I'm gonna give Fallout 1 because I think I would be entertained, but I'm going to give the rest of my points to Kong x Godzilla. Mostly to Baby Kong.
Lydia.
So yeah, Fallout is a video game series that I have not played, but I know a little bit about it. But with the track record that video game movies and TV shows have, I am very trepidatious of this, I guess. And while Godzilla X Kong looks cool, I think the thing that I enjoyed the most of it was Baby Kong, because it was every time he came on screen, me and Tabitha just went, oh. I'm also probably more likely to watch Fallout, but that means I have to finish other things first before I start another series that I'm never gonna finish. So I'm gonna just do what I did last time. I'm gonna give 6 to Fallout and 4 to Kong, which is mostly going to Baby Kong.
Matt.
This is a hard matchup for me because while I have only, I think, played 1 or 2 of the Fallout games, it's a post-apocalyptic game that does things a little bit differently than a lot of them. There are a lot of homages in this trailer to the games. The outfits are spot on. The armor is like right out of the video game. Some of the creatures, the dog, the German Shepherd was very popular recently, I think, with Fallout 4. Made the cover of the game and everything, so that was a great touch. In a lot of ways, I feel like, as much as I agree that the video game, movie, and TV adaptations tend to go poorly, we saw how well Amazon did with Wheel of Time, and I feel like they have given Fallout the same respect and the same oomph behind it. So that gives me hope, and kind of reinvigorates my desire to go back and play those games anyways. I love a good monster movie. Godzilla X Kong, I mean, really, the two of them teaming up, kicking ass, like, it looks awesome. My only concern is there are a few moments in that trailer where the CGI looks a little dated
CGI.
already. Yes. And then it also kind of looks like Godzilla and Kong team up to beat Planet of the Apes. And I don't know how I feel about that plot line, because that's kind of what it looks like. I do love the fact that they're continuing with the theme, or the plot, basically, of the Hollow Earth that has come up with the most recent monster movies. So that I'm excited for, but as much as I love Godzilla and Kong, I think at this point Fallout for me shows more promise. So I'm going to go 6 points for Fallout and 4 for Godzilla X Kong.
So with a score of 24-16, Fallout falls out of trailer takedown. Our next matchup is Furiosa versus Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. Matt, let's start with you this round.
I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to give either of these any points.
You gave us both of
I
these.
did give us both of these trailers, so that's entirely my fault. Furiosa is a movie that's like, I feel like Hollywood said, Charlize Theron's character in the last Mad Max movie was kick-ass and amazing. She needs a backstory. And so they decided to do this movie. The CGI looks bad. I don't even care that Chris Hemsworth is probably going to kick some ass. They threw in like a younger version of the bad guy from the first remake Mad Max movie, like just to tie everything together. Like Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress, but I don't like. There was no heart in her performance in this trailer. Like she just didn't seem to be into it. So I just like. I need, if you want me to enjoy Mad Max movies, I need to find something in these that I'm going to root for or care about, and I have yet to do that basically with anything ever, despite being cult classics that they are. Gundam, somebody made a QuickTime movie and put it on Netflix. I thought this was going to be interesting. The very beginning of this, the CGI almost looks better than some of those spots in the Furiosa trailer, but then it devolves pretty quickly. I'm just going to go 5 and 5 on this because I can't decide which is worse.
Tabitha.
So our background. Oh, I was peanut gallery. There's the word I'm looking for. Not Seth said it best about Gundam. This doesn't look like a real trailer. I was 100% convinced this was fan made for the entirety of the time we were watching it. As far as Mad Max, I'm not sure that we need another one of these. I really enjoyed Furiosa's story in the last Mad Max movie that we got. And I really enjoy the chaos that are Mad Max films. They're nice popcorn movies that you don't have to think about. You just have to watch shit explode and people drive real dumb. Like, it's just fun. And this, like Matt said, is a prequel to Furiosa's story that we got in that last movie. I'm a sucker for a pre-story. So I'm going to give all 10 of my points to Mad Max because I'd rather pry my eyes out with rusty grapefruit spoons than watch that Gundam trailer again.
That was very specific.
I mean, which is something you would probably do in that world of Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
Lydia.
Yeah, I'm with Matt. I don't want to give either one of these points. Like, I've never seen a Mad Max film. I'm not going to go back and watch all of them just so I can watch this one. Especially since, like they said, it just doesn't feel like there's any, like, heart behind it. It just is like, hey, here's a movie for the sake of having a movie. And then the Gundam one literally looked fan-made. It looked like somebody took clips from, like, a video game and just poorly dubbed something over the top of it. I don't know what they were going for with that. I'm hoping whatever they actually come out with and put on, is it Netflix, is better than whatever this trailer is. I want to go 5 and 5 too, because I don't want to give either one of them points.
Yeah, so I've never seen any of the Mad Max movies, have no frame of reference. It's fine. I really didn't know what was going on except Chris Hemsworth, like, the face looked like Fat Thor, but the rest of his body looked like Fit Thor. So I was very confused.
That is a very apt description.
Yeah.
Fit that floor. Whoa, can't say that 5 times fast.
Fut 4?
No.
Fet 4?
Fet 4 just sounds like Boba Fett.
Fot 4? Fot?
Just give up.
Thor?
That sounds like Thot Thor. You have my attention.
I'm going to give Furiosa more points now. Not really. But Gundam, like, I was confused because, so the YouTube video that we watched, it was from Netflix Anime. And so I'm like, okay, so it's going to be an anime. But then, like, I don't know, the first 10 seconds or something, like, the CGI looked good. It to the point where I was confused. I was like, wait, is this an anime or is this live action? I don't know what's going on. And then we saw a human being, and I was like, oh dear God, it's like the CGI from the 90s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys remember, in the 90s, it was like Voltron: The Third Dimension.
Mm-hmm.
It was giving that, and yeah, I was not here for it, and the entire time I kept asking, "Where's Sai?" Anyway,
Get out.
Again, this is my house. My name is on the lease.
I don't think Not Seth cares, considering he's the first one that told you to get out.
Dang it. So I followed suit and just gave them both 5 and 5. I'm really glad that you didn't do that, Tabitha. I was worried. So with a score of 15 to 25, Furiosa, I don't know.
Drives on.
Sure. Thanks. It's going to meet the winner of Zone of Interest versus True Detective Night Country. Tabitha, I don't believe you started yet, so let's start with you.
So, Zone of Interest, as with most A24 trailers, we didn't get much. This is going to be weird. It's going to be wild. And like I said when we were watching this is like giving Nazi officer family vibes. So I am intrigued to see what this is actually going to be about. And I'm not going to look it up, despite the fact that I really want to, because I kind of want to be surprised.
Yes, you will.
Rude. As for this new iteration of True Detective, this literally has all of the things I like. Cold weather, murder, mystery, and Jodie Foster. Like, I have no notes. Like, no complaints. 10 out of 10. The Zone of Interest has my interest, so I am going to give it 4 points, but the rest of my points, all 6 of them, will go to True Detective Jodie Foster, or whatever it's called.
True Detective 30 Days of Night.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Zone of Interest, the fuck did we watch? Literally no idea. But it's A24, so that's to be expected. True Detective Night Country, I haven't seen any of the other True Detective series, and if I'm not mistaken, they are kind of standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have to watch the other 3 seasons.
3 seasons. Nope. You
Okay.
do not.
That said, even with that knowledge, I still I don't know. The little bit of knowledge that I had with True Detective, I thought that it was a little bit more grounded. This seems more sci-fi, more horror. Am I wrong?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So this is leaning sci-fi horror in that trailer, but based on my prior knowledge of life, because I'm weird, it is more culty
Yeah.
Okay.
than looks like Aliens is a cult.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know, knowing the little bit that I knew about True Detective, it was just it kept throwing me off. The main character that's not Jodie Foster, I was really digging her dimple piercings, but that just kind of kept getting my attention.
Distracting.
Yeah, thank you. They were so shiny.
I feel like that can't be regulation.
So based solely off of what I'm more likely to see first, I'm giving Zone of Interest 6 points and True Detective Night Country 4 points. Matt.
Zone of Interest, I have to agree with Tabitha, gives you that Nazi officer vibe. It also gives a very uncomfortable vibe. Like, this is going to be weird, and you're going to be uncomfortable with how weird it gets. I feel like what we saw in this trailer is the very surface level of what this story is about, and it's gonna get twisted and weird the further this goes in. That said, I almost feel like, again, with it's A24, so you're not gonna get much in the first trailer. Like, I almost want trailer number 2 to give me a little bit more plot to like pull me a little bit deeper into this story. True Detective season 1 was brilliant. Season 2 was well done. I have not seen season 3. Season 4, Jodie Foster, dark, cold, snow. This just looks like everything good from season 1 moved to the tundra. And I'm here for it. Whether you like it or not, any of these seasons of True Detective, they get actors that give some of the best performances of their entire freaking lives in these series. People pan season 2, but like Colin Farrell's character was brilliant. I forgot that they were moving on with this series. I love that it's an anthology series. You can watch each season completely standalone. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I have to give True Detective 8 points and 2 to Zone of Interest.
And Lydia.
So I know A24's whole thing is just to be weird, but this trailer was weird. Like I was highly confused the whole time. True Detective, I almost said True Country, which is just a smushed version of this title. I also have not seen any of the previous seasons, but knowing that they stand on their own makes me super happy, because watching this trailer, I think it's the one of all the trailers that we watched tonight that I actually am the most interested in seeing. So I'm just going to give it all of my points and not give any to whatever the heck that weird A24 thing was.
So with a score of 12-28, True Detective moves on. All right. So now we're at the semifinals. First round, Eileen versus Godzilla X Kong. Matt.
I'm going to go, based on the trailers alone, I'm going to go 7 points for Eileen and 3 for Godzilla X Kong.
I'm opposite of you. I'm going 3 points for Eileen and 7 for Godzilla X Kong. Tabitha.
Mitch and I doing the same thing again. I'm also going to go 3 for Eileen and 7 for Kong X, whatever, whichever order those go in.
Lydia.
I'm going 8 for Eileen and 2 for each of the scenes that Baby Kong was in.
So with a score of 21-19, very close, Eileen moves on to the finals. And she's going to meet the winner of Furiosa versus True Detective. Guys got points? Mm-hmm. Okay. Tabitha, let's start with you this round.
Yeah, when this is the matchup, I'm going to give all 10 of my points to True Detective. None for Furiosa.
Samesies. Lydia.
Yeah, same.
Matt.
Same.
Score of 40-0. I didn't even have to do any math. True Detective moves on to the finals. Let's take a couple seconds because I need to figure my life out.
I'm going to need more than a few seconds for that.
I'm going 5-5. Between these two movies, True Detective only won once for me, and that was because it went up against Furiosa. At the end of the day, I'm not really excited about either one of these movies. Lydia.
I am going to give 8 to the detective one and 2 to Eileen because I am still interested in it. And also, I've been singing this song in my head since we started talking about this trailer.
Matt.
This is a tough matchup, but I think at the end of the day, I'm just a little more excited for True Detective, so I'm going to go 6 for True Detective and 4 for Eileen.
Tabitha, bring it home.
What this breaks down to is basically you asking me to pick between Jodie Foster and Anne Hathaway. And at the end of the day, I don't know that I can make that choice. So I'm going 5 and 5.
So, with a score of 16 to 24, True Detective Night Country wins this week's trailer takedown. Granted, we had a couple of long pauses, but we are just about an hour 4, and we are just now starting gut reaction. Ow!
Gut reaction.
2-second explanations, guys.
Keep it short.
Putting the gut in gut reaction.
Ew.
He's still
Thumbs
thinking about
down,
Dad Bod
Mitch.
Thor.
So, we're going to start. We're starting this week with Oni Press. A little bit of Oni Press news here. They are teaming up with SpectreVision. So SpectreVision, it is a production company that was founded by Daniel Noah and Elijah Wood. So they are teaming up for what they're calling a pop-up publishing imprint for 2025 called High Strangeness. So just reading from this press release, it says, influenced by real documented cases of paranormal phenomena dating back to the mid-20th century, High Strangeness will surveil the liminal spaces where reality, hallucination, science, and mythology give way to cosmic wonder and existential terror, bending perception far beyond the bounds of traditional science fiction and horror. Giving this a thumbs up. This sounds fantastic. I didn't know anything about SpectreVision, but yeah, I'm here for this. Tabitha.
Yeah, this sounds right up my alley. Giant thumbs up.
Matt.
The recent connection between sci-fi and horror is absolutely wonderful. Add to that, the aliens and that kind of conspiracy theory, absolutely thumbs up.
Lydia.
So I thought I remembered what SpectreVision was, and I was right. So they actually made a video game called Transference, which is a psychological thriller. So mixing that with Oni Press just sounds like an awesome idea, and I'm excited. Thumbs up.
Tabitha, let's go to Disneyland.
So Disneyland is Star Wars is taking over some things at Disneyland. The absolute long and short of it is Season of the Force is going to see Space Mountain transformed into Hyperspace Mountain, along with specially themed food and beverages and merchandise. It's going to be running from April 5th to June 2nd, 2024. It's going to be a very short run. I'm here for this. I love that they're just kind of like letting Disney or Star Wars take over Disneyland for a couple of months. Sounds fantastic. Thumbs up.
Matt.
I almost kind of wish we could go for this. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
I still don't really have enough of a Star Wars, I lost my train of thought.
Knowledge base?
Knowledge base is a good way to go. To really care, but you guys are excited, so thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. I'm only sad that they didn't do this when I was at Disneyland. So, a couple of Barbie stories. The first one, Barbie is finally making its way to streaming services with a twist. Barbie, which I didn't know this, it's the highest grossing film in Warner Brothers history. It's going to hit Max on December 15th and will also include an American Sign Language version. According to a press release, the decision to have an ASL version is rooted in research and feedback from the deaf community, as well as counsel from community leaders. The title, if you're looking for it, it can be found on the app by its key art, but it's also will have the sign language symbol. Initially, I was going to give this a thumb sideways because I was confused by the idea of, well, why have an ASL interpreter with the movie when you could have subtitles. But knowing that, Max, HBO, Warner Brothers, whatever, took the advice of people within the deaf community and they said, no, we want this, and then they delivered, I'm here for this. Thumbs up. Tabitha.
Yeah, this is amazing. ASL interpreters need to be available for more TV shows, movies, concerts, everything. So giant thumbs up to their decision to do this.
Matt.
Yeah, I was in your camp, Mitch. I was like, well, why would you do this if they have the captions? But knowing what they did to come to this decision, that's a fantastic way to do it. And yeah, these interpreters, especially if you see them at concerts, they need to be available in way more places. Thumbs up to this.
Lydia.
Yeah, the fact that they took the advice of the people that actually need to utilize these kind of things and didn't just go, we're just going to do what we want with this and hope for the best is fantastic. Thumbs up.
Tabitha, you have maybe a less popular Barbie story?
So there's a little bit of mixed emotions around this, and I think it's mostly just people not understanding how, the Cherokee Nation does naming, but that's neither here nor there. With the Inspiring Woman series that's coming out from Mattel, they have elected to do Wilma Mankiller, who was the first female principal chief for the Cherokee Nation, leading the tribe until 1995. She made her focus on social conditions and heritage as well as education for the community. She was met with, and people are saying bad things about the fact that her last name was Mankiller. Her response to why is your name Mankiller was Mankiller is actually a well-earned nickname. It's a family name from her past, and it's just something she adopted. So there are a lot of people that don't understand things who are mad about the Mankiller line, but someone said Wilma Mankiller is a champion for the Cherokee Nation, for Indian country, and even my own daughter. It's incredible that they're doing this series, and I'm really glad they're branching out into the Native American culture. So thumbs up for Mattel.
Matt.
Yeah, this is one of those things that in the world and society the way it is today, this is the kind of education that is needed for the general public. So huge thumbs up for not backing down on any of this and going with what it is and telling us the story behind it. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
This is once again the whole, we need to be diverse. We need to be inclusive. But not like that. Anger. It's like you're being angry at the wrong thing. Sit down, shut up, and let it happen. Thumbs up, Mattel. Just everyone else needs to stop.
Yeah, agreed. Thumbs up, Mattel. Everybody else, maybe know what you're talking about before you talk smack. I don't know. It's just an idea.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. So, Nicolas Cage is almost 60, and he is... Yeah.
Lydia is upset.
But he is getting ready to say goodbye to films. The actor told Vanity Fair, quote, I may have 3 or 4 movies left in me. He also added, I do feel I've said what I've had to say with cinema. I want to say goodbye on a high note. While he cites wanting to spend more time with family, he isn't ruling out other forms of acting, such as a television series, which he's never done. Which is surprising, but at the same time, if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm giving this a thumbs up. Nicolas Cage, I know that we make fun of him from time to time, but at the same time, it's like you can't take away what he's done for cinema, good, bad, or indifferent. Mostly good, I think, when you really think about it. And so if you're choosing to step away when it's right for you, more power to you. Tabitha.
I'm just really sad he thinks he has 3 or 4 more movies left in him. Thumbs up for Nicolas Cage retiring.
Matt.
At the end of the day, you do you. I feel like this is a Stephen King thing. Like, I'm going to retire. I got 3 to 4 more movies. All of a sudden, one of them makes money. Oh, wait, I'm not really retiring. I'm back. Also, why would you quote unquote retire and then do a TV series, which requires way more time commitment than a movie, even if you've never done a TV series? That logically and logistically doesn't make any sense. Whatever. At the end of the day, you do you. If you want to do 3 to 4 more movies and retire, cool. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
I really hope that he does 2 or 3 more movies and then retires, because if he's trying to go out on a high note, Renfield is not it, buddy. But you know what? You do what makes you happy, I guess. Thumbs up for you.
So a few episodes ago, we talked about Scholastic's policy on their diverse books. They've changed it slightly. Now, for every spring 2024 book fair, the company will include all titles in their Celebrating Voices collection instead of the titles just being an optional add-on. While all books will be delivered to all fairs, the hosts can choose whether or not to offer all of them for sale, which has always been the case. I'm giving this a thumbs up. I know when we talked about this last time, we thought, kind of, sort of, that Scholastic was trying to do the right thing, didn't really land well. I think they're doing a better job and trying to course correct, so I'll give them a thumbs up. Tabitha.
Yeah, also thumbs up. I know that last article that we read was a little disheartening, so this is positive.
Yeah. Matt.
Like you guys have said, like, they were trying to course correct. They're trying to do mitigate the damage. I think honestly, by saying this is the collection, we're including it with every book sale. You can either put it out for sale or not. That's entirely up to you and your school. That, I think, is probably the best answer to the whole thing. That leaves it on a case-by-case basis. If the school doesn't, then they don't. But they're not intentionally leaving it off the truck when they deliver those books. I think that's great. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like a much better step in the right direction. So thumbs up.
Matt, let's talk about A24.
So A24 has inked a new multi-year deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, blah, blah, blah. They're going to bring all of their movies to HBO, Max, and Cinemax. This includes a backlist of over 100 titles. The deal that they currently have signed in 2019 and is expiring within the next year. This will both keep movies on the current services and bring others to Max, which will include Everything Everywhere All at Once, Uncut Gems, The Whale. So I think that's great because obviously they have continued to grow as a film development company, and to be able to put those out there where more people are going to get to stream them, all for that. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
More weirdness. Yay. Thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm here for this. Yeah, nothing really else to add. Thumbs up. Tabitha.
Yeah, A24 is one of those things that I've always kind of wanted to get caught up on, because I feel like once they came around and they got popular, they already had this huge backlog that you don't really know about. So I just want to go through their backlog and see what's out there and find some weirdness to watch. Thumbs up.
So 3 Disney Pixar films that, thanks to the pandemic, were only released on Disney Plus are finally getting theatrical releases. Soul comes out on January 12th, Turning Red on February 9th, and Luca on March 22nd. Tickets for all 3 go on sale January 2nd. I've given this a thumb sideways. I think that, these movies... I know that there was, especially with Turning Red, there was a lot of disappointment that these movies didn't get theatrical releases. But at the same time, it's been how many years now? This is probably something that should have been done last year, maybe even the second half of 21. Tabitha.
Yeah, I'm also going to give this a thumb sideways, because if I have the option of sitting in my house and watching these movies, or going to the theater and having to put real clothes on and pay extra money, I'm going to sit in my house and watch them in my jammies. So, thumb sideways.
I mean, I've seen some people wearing their jammies at the theaters, so...
Yeah, but real jammies, holes in my pants and my shirt.
Yeah, I know.
Oh! I just guess I don't pay enough attention to the people around me in the movie theater.
The Walmart people found their way to the movie theater.
Matt.
Well, I do think that this is a good idea. I think this should have happened before now, because they've been streaming long enough where at this point, anybody that's going to want to see these movies has watched them at home, in their jammies on their couch, instead of dressing, well, just going out to the theater. I'm not even going to say dressing up because they just go. Yeah, I'm going to say thumbs down because this should have happened before now. And I had another thought to go along with this, but it's gone.
Lydia.
Yeah, this feels like it's too little too late, and we've kind of talked about it with like the way they've been releasing things lately in theater and streaming at the same time, and that being a poor idea. Going back and re-releasing things that they just released straight to streaming, no matter the reason, just kind of feels like a money grab at this point. And yeah, if I had the option to just pull it up while I'm sitting on my couch, compared to having to go to a movie theater and pay $20 for a tub of popcorn, I'm gonna sit on my couch and pop a bag of Jiffy Pop or whatever and not have to leave. So thumbs sideways, I guess.
Lydia, or Tabitha, I'm sorry. It's because Lydia just spoke. It's fine.
We're interchangeable.
Sometimes.
Let's talk about a Lego Avengers Tower.
So this thing is freaking huge. We're just gonna start there. Lego is releasing the Avengers Tower, and I'm gonna go straight into the dimensions. Whoo! All right, it comes with 5,201 pieces in 39 bags. It is
God.
10 inches deep.
Giggity.
I knew somebody was going to say something.
14 inches wide.
Woo!
Girthy.
And 36 inches tall.
That just sounds painful.
38 on a good day.
If it's not cold outside. That is going to make it Lego's tallest brick-built skyscraper. It is It comes with 31 minifigures, which is also the most ever included in a Lego set. And you can purchase it for just $499.99.
That's it?
Someone that is a professional Lego builder, it took them 13 hours to build it. It's huge. This looks really fun. I would never spend that kind of money on a Lego set. And also the fact that it has 36 bags gives me anxiety. So I'm giving this a thumbs up for Lego collectors, but never would I ever.
All I said was Matt.
I'm just upset that I didn't know that there were professional Lego builders, and I missed out on an apparently lucrative career.
No one said it was lucrative.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You could get a job for Legoland.
Right. This falls into the category like Rivendell. A set that I really want, that I don't need, that I have nowhere to put in my house. But at the same time, I think this is fantastic, and I love the idea. So I'm going to go thumbs up.
Lydia.
As large as this thing is, I'm surprised that it's only like $500, because that's how much some of the other ones that have come out, like the Rivendell one, have been, and those aren't that big. However, I'm just imagining my dog just knocking this thing over and just bricks scattering all over my house, and then not being able to leave my house because it's just a minefield of Lego bricks. So that's terrifying. I don't know where to go on this one, guys. I mean, thumbs up, I guess, because I mean, it sounds really awesome, but I'm also not going to spend that much money to have it knocked over.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. Yeah, definitely, I would never want to do this because, yeah, Anxiety Mitch is real right now.
I also feel like I'd be the person to like get to the very end and be like, where did this extra brick go?
Exactly. But while yes, it's $500, and whew, I would have expected at least $750, especially with it being as massive as it is. So, Sony announced recently that due to some licensing arrangements, users won't be able to watch any Discovery content that they've purchased, not even just rented or whatever, and that the content will be removed from Sony's libraries as of December 31st, 2023. So apparently, I haven't looked to see exactly how big it is, but apparently the list of stuff that's going away is pretty long. But while, stuff leaving streaming services, it's a thing. But even with it being like, hey, I've purchased this so I can watch it anytime I want, now Sony's being like, JK. I'm giving this a thumbs down. I'm giving myself a thumbs up because I told y'all. Tabitha.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to work with, like, in a legal way for them. Because, like, you've purchased that product. Like, you owned that. You gave them money for the thing that you were taking possession of. How is that going to work on their end? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, and people aren't getting refunded either.
Oh. Yeah, I would not be happy.
So, you're not buying the item. You're buying a license for the item. That's how they get around it. So, you're buying a license in perpetuity. So, instead of just doing like the 24-hour rental license, you bought a license in perpetuity. And that massive thing of like terms and conditions that nobody reads because it's like several pages long all the time. You're like, oh, I'm buying this thing that feels like it's a full price for the real copy, but it's digital, so I keep it forever, right? Nope. Okay. You only get to use it as long as we say you can. And at any point, we can revoke that.
Gross. Thumbs down. Thank you for explaining that to me.
Matt.
Yeah, it's true. I know there had been some debate a while back. It was probably a couple of years, as far as purchasing things from Amazon, as like for videos and things, on how long once you purchased it you actually had quote unquote possession of it. Am I surprised that Sony's the first one to do this? Yes. Am I surprised that it happened? Not really. I guess Sony's decided they've got enough money right now, so they can just put up with this. So I guess thumbs down.
Lydia.
And this is why I will always buy the actual hard copy of like any video game or anything like that I want, because that's just rude. Thumbs down.
Tabitha. Let's be a trash panda.
Yes, please. Released on November 15th is Trash Panda. Developed by Jason Lever, published by J. Lever Presentations. It is on Steam, and it is tagged as a small, chill, lo-fi raccoon simulator where you play as a raccoon roaming neighborhoods of Toronto, making a mess, knock over trash bins, find power-ups, challenge other raccoons, and get lost. I have watched a lot of play-by-plays of this online now, and I, A, want to be a raccoon. B, just want to walk around Toronto as a raccoon. I've never had the desire to play a video game as much as I desire to play this video game. Thumbs all the way up.
Matt.
The part of this video game they don't show you is that Toronto's really clean, so there's a Parks and Rec person following behind them cleaning up these raccoons. But
Just Leslie Knope with like a little like sweeper.
yeah, a broom and a dustpan, cleaning up, putting it back in the trash can after the raccoon knocks it over. I was already interested in this, and oddly enough, I have come to enjoy some of those lo-fi like soundtracks. It's the idea of playing as a raccoon wandering Toronto with like a lo-fi soundtrack in the background. I didn't know I needed this. Thumbs up.
Lydia.
This is giving Untitled Goose Game vibes, and I love the the rise of all these video games where you just get to play as this random animal just wreaking havoc on the world. I didn't know I needed this. Thumbs up.
So, this is our last story of the night. McDonald's, it's been around for a while now. They finally are having a spin-off, I guess. And one of these is opening up actually kind of close to us. Well, not kind of close to us, but one location is going to be in Bolingbrook, Illinois.
Easy for you to say.
Anyway. So it's called CosMc. Capital C-O-S, capital M-C apostrophe S. So according to the website, it's a new concept from the McDonald's universe with its own distinct brand and identity. CosMc looks, feels, and serves its customers differently than a traditional McDonald's restaurant. Also, this says that CosMc is a long-lost McDonaldland character, the likes of which we haven't seen since the early 1990s. CosMc loved experimenting and creating flavors for friends in Cosmic Land, which we're proud to now bring Earthside for all to enjoy. So, the website, it says that it's a beverage concept. So, the menu is drink heavy. Among the favorites is the Tropical Spice Aid. It's a fiery blend of lemonade and tropical flavors, topped with an interstellar cascade of dragon fruit. There's also the Turmeric Spiced Latte. It's an otherworldly, bold, and peppery espresso experience. They will have... Tabitha is literally gagging over here.
I hate turmeric so much.
They will have some food options, such as the spicy queso sandwich. It's a radiant egg sandwich with just the right heat. But it looks like there's some sausage on there. It's a fluffy omelet-style egg, elevated with sausage, spicy queso sauce, melty white cheddar cheese, pasteurized process. There was a couple of asterisks there. And crispy jalapeno chips, served on a soft toasted brioche bun. So, if you explore the whole menu, they will have other like McDonald's things. Like they've got McFlurries. They've got like McDonald's breakfast sandwiches, egg McMuffin, sausage McMuffin, all that kind of stuff. Interestingly enough, the like the hash browns that McDonald's have. Mm-hmm. CosMc will have savory hash brown bites.
Crispy crowns.
Yeah. So
We like potatoes. It's okay.
They also have a snack box, which almost looks like a charcuterie board. Hearty mix of thick smoked Gouda cheese, sliced pepperoni, flaxseed crackers, and a handful of almonds and dried cranberries.
I could get down with the McDonald's charcuterie board. That sounds delightful.
CosMc.
I'm not calling it that.
But that's what it's called.
It's bougie McDonald's.
Do not dead name CosMc.
It's bougie McDonald's.
All I really wanted was for them to bring back the steak breakfast bagel, and instead they went ahead and did this whole...
They have it in Chicago.
What the heck?
Yeah. We were on the train. We passed the stop, and I was like, is that the steak, egg, and cheese bagel? And I pulled up my phone, I was like, damn sure enough. Chicago McDonald's still has the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
What the hell, Chicago? Give it back!
Nice to meet another lover of the steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
Yes.
That was like so intense.
That was
he took off his
aggressive.
headphones and thing.
That was the most
We had a
animated.
moment, okay?
That's the most animated I think I've seen Not Seth in a long time.
It's usually him and Tabitha. We had a moment. Let me have this.
No, that's fine. It's fine. But yeah, like, is this something that you would go to?
Probably not.
I'm gonna say yes. I did kind of look at the menu, and there's enough different, interesting, but not completely bizarre options as far as the drinks that I would probably give it a shot. Also, yeah, that queso egg sandwich sounds real interesting. I know that some of like the basic McDonald's stuff is still going to be there, but like, I don't know, that queso egg sandwich sounds interesting. Plus, like I said, some of these other drinks are not weird enough to completely push me away. So if like there isn't a line all the way around the block, yeah, I might give it a shot.
I wonder how the, because it says it's like a different service than like normal McDonald's. So are we talking, is it going to be like a Sonic where it's just like you just like it's a drive-in or whatever? Or
Nah, they just remember all the sauces you ask for.
So I think with the new concept, it's like a limited dining space, like they previously announced with like the switch for McDonald's. So it's going to be more like a Sonic where it's primarily drive-through. So yeah, Sonic style.
interesting.
Okay.
Way to go. Way to go, Mickey D's. Or Cosmic D's.
You just yelled at me for that.
No, I mean,
Please do not say
wait-
Cosmic D's.
way to go, Mickey.
Now I can't eat there.
Way to go, Mickey D's, in coming up with a different concept. Because it is still a McDonald's brand. Whatever.
I'm just trying to figure out what they would call the Burger King equivalent of this.
Galactic King?
Don't like that either.
No, it's probably got something to do with the monarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All hail the king.
All I know is that you guys have been in my house for 2.5 hours, and I'm sleepy. So,
Bye.
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 That's going to do it for this episode of The Geek Awakens. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, shoot us an email at thegeekawakenspodcast@gmail.com.
It would be a shame if you didn't follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Geek Awakens Podcast or on Twitter at Geek Awakens.
Theme music created and produced by E. Cannon Beats.
Our logo was designed by Shay McCain.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. We're boldly gone.